What's going on, guys? Today we're back in the video today. Hope you guys are Hope you're having a good day. I'm gonna briefly talk about something at the start of this video before I talk about the title of the video. I don't want to stick to a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule because I feel like that's forced, and this is a precaution to keep myself happiness. I was gonna make a what's in my camera bag video, but then I realized I'm growing that collection very soon, and I was really just filming iPhone vlogs before this. I have like a solid 200 unreleased videos in between my 3 hard drives, and well, that's just recent. That's not of the like 500 days I've vlogged daily on my GoPro and didn't post it on YouTube. Yeah, so I want to talk about like a lot of my thoughts and stuff and the way that I've been feeling recently. I don't want to stick to a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. I just want to upload whatever video I want, whenever, because my true audience will watch that. I'm not worried about growing an audience numbers or anything. If you're gonna watch my videos, that's sick. I appreciate it, but if you're not gonna watch it, I don't really care. It's like positive energy and negative energy. I'm gonna talk about energy cycle. Future, past, present moments, thoughts inside my head, anxiety, depression, all that stuff. I'm gonna talk about that because it's that philosophy, because that's kind of what I'm into. Kind of been working with that a lot recently. So I just want to briefly touch on all that. If you're gonna support me positively, I'll appreciate that. But if you're gonna say negative things and just leave hate, I'm gonna ignore you. There's some things that need to be said about negative situations if it involves other people, and I did talk to someone about that recently. They know who they are. I'm not gonna bring that up in a video because it's in the past. It doesn't exist. The only thing that will ever exist in the moment that you're in, and there's a delay in between your eyes and your mind, so you can never be in a present moment. I don't want to get into that theory though, because then this video will be an hour long about me talking about that. So, yeah, let me get into the first thing. This will help with anxiety. If you're worrying about something in the past or in the future, neither of those exist. It just exists in your mind. So you have to learn how to detach yourself from your thoughts, which is a longer process, if I'm being honest, but you will feel so much better after you disconnect yourself from your thoughts. And all you have is positive thoughts after that. Because once you've made it to a point where you can just live in the moment and appreciate the moment that you're in and just have thinking time to where it's just you and your thoughts. A lot of time when I'm in my room, that's what it is. So I spend a lot of time thinking. We'll go to the notes in my phone, and I'll read some of the things off that I've been thinking about lately. Self-acceptance is the key to happiness. I thought of that this morning. This is a quote from my friend Makai. People who break rules are scum, but people who abandon their friends are worse than scum. The reason why I work so much is because I feel alone in a world full of so many people. I'm going to be completely transparent to you guys, so I'm going to read every single one of these off. I keep my friend circle small because I don't want people leeching off my energy because that's draining. And not a real friend, and they only want me so I can help them. I'll get nothing in return. That kind of sounds bad, but when you think of it, a friendship and a relationship are almost the same thing. A friendship and a relationship are both two-way interactions, so it can't just be one-sided. That's my outlook on it. The only two things I'm scared of is my own mind and talking about the way I'm feeling because it's so difficult. You have to realize someone's dark side before you can let go, look past the positive. There's no way to change someone's outlook on themselves. That's just a couple of them. When we talk about like relationships and two-sidedness, relationships should be equal amount of energy, and a relationship isn't two people at 50% capacity in happiness. It has to be 200, has to be 100 and 100 on each person, and then you'll grow together, or else a relationship will not work. So whenever someone says, I'll work on myself and then I'll be ready for a relationship, that that's a good sign, because then that'll be a healthy relationship. Also, friendships and relationships shouldn't be forced. If it has to be forced, then it isn't real, and you should let go. That means it's one-sided, and that means not the same amount of energy is being put in. For whatever reason, it's just better off. You're just better off to let go. That's my input on that thought of myself. We'll go changing someone's outlook on themselves. A lot of people that I've worked with on helping, they're pretty stubborn about the way that they feel. So, if you can't like persuade them in a positive way to make them realize how good of a person that they are, then you should take a step back, think about it more, think about ways you can change negative energy into positive energy. That's something I've been looking at for a long time. That's why I've read The Untethered Soul, and I've read Part of the Way of Zen by Alan Watts. The Untethered Soul is a really good book. You guys should read that if you're into philosophy. Well, even if you're not into philosophy, you should look at that. That'll change your outlook on life. One of the examples that they give is of an eternal now, and the moment that you're in is dwelling on thoughts, because you cannot let yourself dwell on things. That's something you have to realize. The example that they gave is, you see someone with the same car as your ex, and you see someone hugging in the back. You should not dwell on that. That is in the past. That you're better than that. That didn't work out for a reason. Even if you're not over that person, and I'm getting into getting over a person. When you're looking at something in a positive way, which is what a lot of sad people try to do. Which is what a lot of sad people try to do, so they can make positive moments in their life. You have to look past all the positive and see someone's negative side and realize what they're doing to you, or how they treat you, or what they're doing in a negative way, or ignoring you, or there's multiple different ways you can alter this in your own way, to make it adapt to your situation. You have to see the negative before you can look past the positive. That I don't care if it takes another person's help. If they're willing to help, I could help. You can reach out to me, DM me on Instagram. It's in the description. My Twitter's in the description. Snapchat, I most likely won't add you on that though. Yeah, I could help with that. If you want to come to me for help. Next thing. Being scared of your own thoughts and talking about the way they feel. When you get to a point where you've been so broken in life, it's really hard to explain it the way that you're feeling in an accurate manner, because of past situations, and explaining the way that you feel, because a lot of times in your own head you don't know how to explain how you feel. So putting that into words is really difficult. And that's why I'm afraid of my own mind sometimes, because I know I can wander and I can dwell. But I've kind of solved that, and talking about the way that I feel, I'm a lot more comfortable with than I was before. I'm a lot bigger of a person than I was even a couple months ago. Like, when I was at NSEP, I felt extremely isolated and shy and alone. A part of that was this season in Alaska. The darkness can get a lot of people. The darkness of having 2 hours of daylight and then it being pitch black dark from 3 p.m. to 9 a.m. the next morning. That's a big factor in it, is the weather. Stress. I'll talk about stress. If you have like white parts in your fingernail, I don't know if you can see it, but like white dots in your fingernail, and then you have a like one of those things, like the lighter circle, like half circle part. That's where your stress gets stored. I'll get into stress relieving and the weather you're feeling in a second. When I was at NSEP, I knew in the future I would feel a lot better, but while I was there, was not happy with the mental state I was in, and darkness is a big factor. Vitamin D deficiency is in like almost every single person that lives in Alaska. It's a huge part. And your surroundings are a big circumstance in the way that you're feeling. That's why I feel like you should really crack down on people who you hang out with, who you call friends, who you call acquaintances, and that's one of the reasons why I unadded That's one of the reasons why I unadded a whole bunch of people on Snapchat, is because it was a horrible place. There's so many people I didn't know who they were on a personal level, and they were posting a lot of things on political views, the way that they were feeling, and I mean, I wanted to help, but you can never be too certain about a person. That's a good way to look at it. Enter with carefulness. That's what I have to say about entering someone's life. Proceed with caution. Next thing. I keep my circle small because I don't want people leeching off my energy because it's draining, and that's not a real friend because they only want me so I can help them and I'll get nothing in return. This goes on about two-sided friendships and relationships. I really did not... I cut a lot of people off, which is kind of a bad thing, but it's also a good thing if you look at it in that way, seeking positive in every situation. I had a lot of people leeching off my energy, using me for different things, and I kind of let go of that a long time ago, and was just watering a dead plant at that point. Feeding a dead friendship is what it was. Feeding a dead relationship, and just let go a lot of things. Make yourself let go of things so you can branch out and be a better person. Self-acceptance is the key to happiness. You have to accept yourself before you can find happiness and accept other people. That's what I've learned. And I've accepted myself as a person since I was a very small child. I always looked back on myself, reflected on myself so I could better myself. And that's how you accept yourself, is pushing yourself to a higher spot in life. And sometimes when I don't feel like I'm working enough, I'll go and film a video just so I can feel like I've worked. And that's part of self-acceptance and making yourself better. You should always be comfortable with the person that you are, because if you're not happy with that person that you are, if you look in the mirror and look down on yourself and say, "Oh, I'm ugly. Oh, I'm not worth it," you're 100% worth it in someone's eyes. If you're heartbroken over someone, just remember the next person that has the ability to break your heart or will make you realize how valuable you are and how loved you are. It is walking the earth. Everything you will own in the future, every physical item that you will own in the future is existing right now or being planned to exist. Every person that you will meet is walking this earth at the moment. To an extent. That's not... Depends on how old you are. If they're... Depends on the age gap that you have. If it's a huge age gap, they might not be walking on this earth. But, I mean, if you're talking about relationships, they will probably probably be walking on this earth. Every situation is meant to be. Yeah, I don't care if it teaches you a lesson 10 years from now and you're reflecting on the past, or if it teaches you a lesson in an hour after it happens. It is meant to be. So don't dwell on it. I'm talking about dwelling right now. If you haven't picked up on that. Everything is meant to be. If something doesn't go right, if something doesn't go your way, and it goes into another person's way, that person has been in a situation where it hasn't gone their way. It's just meant to be. It's how things fall into place with each other. How do you think things just suddenly fall into place? Coincidence? No. It's meant to be. Everything's all under God's hands. If you are dealing with depression and you feel like you should not be on this earth, remember, God has a story for you. He has a whole map planned out for you, and He's not done with you yet. And that's why you're still on this earth. You made it through 100% of your bad days to make it to the day that you're in now. And you gotta keep fighting. Enough said. Hope this video helped you guys out. If you're watching this, if you watch at this point, thank you for watching me ramble for 16 minutes. I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Share the friends, don't forget to join the math crew. Peace out.